Everybody good? All right, we got head coach Hank Plona. Coach will open up with a statement and we'll jump into questions.
Just real happy and proud of our players today for digging down deep and figuring out a way to beat another very good team in our league. Every battle, all 20 games in our league are a challenge to win, and the longer you do this in Conference USA, the more you appreciate that fact and certainly value the wins. So certainly at halftime there, we kind of had I wouldn't say a soul-searching moment, not in any kind of crazy way, just a very matter-of-fact, yep, we're tired, yep, this hasn't been an easy stretch, yep, we're down by 8. Yeah, I mean, we all know the situation. We can either band together and be the best versions of ourselves and play with an aggressiveness and a confidence to get the job done, or we can be on our heels and struggle a little bit. And I thought the players went out there and took the initiative and were very confident and very aggressive and played to win. Very proud of them for accomplishing that and getting a good win today.
In the first half, I thought kind of some of the struggles finishing under the goal showed up again, but second half really much better, and at the same time you guys reduced what they were doing in the interior.
Yeah, I think we were down 8 at the half, and we were 4 for 16 from 2. So they were about 50%. I think we thought to ourselves, if we were 8 for 16, that'd be a tie game. So we pointed that out, and there's no science to how to put the ball in the basket. I do think at this point it's a mental thing a little bit, and we've got to you got to play with, you got to think about what you're doing, but then when you're in the moment, you just got to play. So try to take some extra dribbles, try to be strong, try to be physical at the rim. Don't expect any kind of foul call, not in a bad way. I thought it was a very physical game at the rim, both sides for sure. And I thought we did a good job at playing in the second half. And I think from both 3 and from 2, I thought we shot the ball with confidence, and happy that we were able to get that ball in the bucket.
Hank's not playing again until Saturday. Will you give him a couple days off?
I don't know exactly what we'll do yet, but yeah, for sure. We need a physical, mental, emotional reset. It's the only 7-day break we get from Christmas Day. We came back Christmas night because Jacksonville State would not move our game on Monday, December 29th, as the league encouraged us all to do. So we came back on Christmas night, and this is the only 7-day break we get till this is over. So these guys are putting their hearts and souls into this season. I couldn't be, there's some basketball things and execution things and technique things that we got to keep getting better at for sure. We need to become a better basketball team. But I'm very proud of the guys' intent, especially how we've come together the last couple weeks through a lot of adversity. And I think we're in a place where we really want to band together and make a run. And so hopefully this break, a couple days to gather ourselves. You don't want to fall out of shape, but we'll take the early this week to kind of figure out what's best for us, to kind of refresh, and then look forward to playing next Saturday.
Coach, 16 points for Cam tonight after a few games off. What did you see from him getting back out there on the court, and how he maybe played a little bit differently than before?
Cam is a very talented player and has the ability to help us win games. I more or less have no interest, and I told Cam this, I have no interest in playing him 8 to 11 minutes of the game and quote-unquote seeing if he can make a shot. I thought we had done that for about a 2 or 3 week stretch, and I don't think that helps him. I don't think that helps us. I don't think that's good for anybody. He needs to get himself to where he can be the version of himself that he wants to be on that court. And sometimes when you don't play a little bit, I didn't want him to get into a rut where he just expected to go in there and it's a quick hook. No, I mean, he needs to get back to where he's just being himself and not thinking of the consequence, or not thinking of the pressure of performing. Just play basketball. It's the end of his senior year, and we want it to go very, very good. I think he turned his ankle at the end of in the second half of the Louisiana Tech game. And I thought for the next 2 or 3 weeks he was almost just trying to survive out there, and he has some talent and some scoring ability and some competitiveness and some toughness that can really help our team. So, it's a process. I want in my heart, I want everybody to play every game and to feel good about what it's exactly happening. But, I think as a coach, you got to kind of keep the bar with who's playing and impacting winning and who's locked in on improving every single day. And Cam's had a very, very good stretch. He's responded to a difficult situation, I'm sure, in as good a way as you can. And it just kind of felt like going into tonight's game that he had the ability to help us win. And I'm not sure if we win that game without him. He did that for sure.
Blaze was another player that had a good night. You talked about on Monday, you wanted him to be an 8-rebound guy. He had I think 7 against Jack State, 10 here today, double-double. What did you see from
Yeah, now I want him to be about a 13 rebound guy. So, we're kind of greedy. So, but no, I thought he played very well. I thought he obviously finished a little bit, rebounded the ball on the offensive end for sure. Man, I didn't think they could stop him a little bit on the offensive glass, and that kept the ball alive. He got a foul call where he ran the out-of-bounds play, and Cam got a shot. I mean, there's some points that were created, second chance, even when Blaze didn't get them, that we had. So, and I thought he did a great job protecting the rim on defense. You want them to rebound the ball on defense, but I promise you, when somebody's driving in at you and you got to put both hands in the air and block and protect the rim, it's hard then to land, turn, and get the ball. So, so some of those other guards, the smaller guys, when Blaze protects the rim, they got to go clean it up. There was a stretch there where they got their second chance points. That's not Blaze's fault. Blaze was stopping the play and getting crushed, physically for doing it. If I'm down on the ground sometimes, those other guys have got to do a better job at rebounding the ball. So it's just certainly a point of emphasis. I mean, we're playing, Cam, Terrion, LJ, Ryan. When those smaller guys are in there, 3 of them at a time, that is the concern, is defensive rebounding. So I thought Blaze did a good job at doing his job, and we gotta make sure we have Blaze's back at all times.
Can we get an update on Tegan?
Felt better today. He wasn't at the game on Thursday just because they said the lights and the noise where his head was at wasn't good for him. There's been progress over the last 48 hours, so I know he was excited to be here today. As of right now, I think Tegan's hopeful and wanting to play next Saturday, but obviously we got to keep, there's got to be a couple days with no headache, no concussion symptoms and things like that. So he seemed more like himself the last couple days. He was at shoot around on Thursday. He's been at practice, but this was the first time that he's been around in a big, but he says he feels fine. So we're certainly hoping the week off, I want him to listen to his body. I don't want him to lie about his head hurting. He's had some concussions in his past, and he's a tough kid, and he wants to put on that uniform and win for all of us as much as anybody. But obviously, you want to take care of his long-term health. So I do think we're moving in the right direction. I thought maybe a week ago we were, and then kind of had a little bit of a hiccup, But I think he's, we just got to keep listening to that. But there's no doubt that he wants to get back out there and play. Hoping for next Saturday.
50 points in the second half compared to 30 in the first. What did you see, in your opinion, that led to that difference on the offense?
By the end there, we were making some shots, and I thought playing with a lot of confidence. I think you can't let your offense dictate how you play basketball. And sometimes we talked all day. Hal Schmidt asked me before the game, word of the day, and I was using the phrase fear of failure. You can't have fear of failure. So then I finally landed on fearlessness. But, I thought Armello and Ryan did a good job. Armello's 2 for 12, Ryan's 3 for 14. But, man, they both played confidently down the stretch. Ryan a little bit too confidently in the last 30 seconds, but confidently down the stretch. I think, Grant had a great day shooting the ball. Man, we want Grant to have great days, whether the shot's going in or the shot's not going in. So I do think when you see the ball go in a couple times, it does help you play with confidence and not to worry about missing a shot. You can't fear missing a shot. You got to take that shot like it's the most important thing that you're currently doing, because it is. The current thing that you're doing in life it's the only important thing. You can't change the past and you can't control the future. You just got to stay right there in the moment at all times. And and I think I think the offensive thing, putting the ball in the bucket's been a little bit of a mental deal. You address it, you coach it, but you don't want to overdo it. But I thought in the second half there, when it was kind of winning time, I thought the guys did a good job at staying very present and making the right plays and trying to make plays for each other. And we played well enough in the second half to win.
Coach, kind of going off what you just said, it felt like a complete effort all around. Everybody competed at a high level the entire game. Do you think something like that will kind of propel you guys going into the next one? Just seeing that they were able to put that on tape.
Yeah, I hope so. I think the last 4 games, I'd say, at Kennesaw, in a game that we were up by 10 with 6 minutes to go. At Middle, won the game. There tonight was a very back and forth, strange game, but a very back and forth game. The last 4 games, we've proven that we know how to play. We know how to play hard. We know how to compete. We know how to battle. We're not scared of anybody. I thought we had kind of had some ups and downs, and I think we've answered the bell. But I do think you want to learn that it helps for that to pay off with a win. Winning does propel you. It reinforces that all the work. I mean, there were some guys that were hurting out there tonight. I mean, playing as hard as they could, and there's not a lot of places in year 2026 or whatever we're in where you push yourself to the extreme and things are challenging and difficult. Like we're kind of in a time where there's a lot of things set up to try to make everybody in this room comfortable in life. Like, I mean, you can choose your comfort in life nowadays. But we were talking the other day, like just communication, and phones are different. My assistant Eric Murphy and I met each other 15 years ago working a little basketball camp, and we had flip phones. Like you couldn't search the internet, you couldn't do anything, so you talk and you end up forming a lifelong friendship and things like that. These guys, their life's different, but basketball hasn't changed. The ball, the hoops, the court, the things that go into winning are the same as they were 30 or 40 years ago, and that's hard. Like there's no escape. You don't get to hit the reset button on the video game thing if you're losing. Like you have to continue to play and to fight and to battle. And we have some guys that are have important roles. This is a team that's very close. They care about one another, but they're having to learn that it is as difficult as anything, and you have to compete for 40 minutes. There's no breaks. There's no timeouts. There's no resting. You've got to do it together, and hopefully you want when they start learning that they go through all that and they win and it's worth it and we feel good about it. I do think that hopefully reinforces that behavior, and you hope that it can kind of get you going in the right direction.
This was an FIU team. I think they came in averaging about 83 to hold them to 70 and hold Stevenson down under his average. Just kind of address how you guys played defense.
Yeah, I think I guess I'd say the last 4 games, I think our defense has been good. I don't think our defense is why we're 2-2 in the last 4 games. I think putting the ball in the bucket has been the issue. So yeah, we've been pressuring and we've been playing kind of a little bit more in your face man-to-man defense and pressuring further past the three-point line. Early on in the season, teams were getting a ton of threes up against us. We've tried to limit the amount of shots, comfortable jump shots they get. And yeah, that, because, Blaze can clean up the rim as good as anybody. So just trying to change a little bit and pressure out and not give space and not give comfort. And, and Stevenson was the focal point for sure. He was the guy that we did not want to leave. He's the guy that when he gets 30-something, they score 90, When he gets 14, you hope they score about 70. So I thought we did a good job, and I think in general the guys have really embraced that side. In the last 2 weeks, we've embraced that side of the ball more than we had all year. As a coach, sometimes you worry that you're playing so kind of all over the place, and the guards, that affects offense a little bit, But at the same time, even when we're not playing that strategy, our offense has been a little up and down, putting the ball in the bucket. So I think our defense, we've had 4 consecutive pretty good defensive games, and I think the guys are buying in on that end of the floor, and hopefully we can continue to be a good defensive team.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.